What's up, everybody? Hey, YouTube folks. How's it going, guys? Good to see you. I'm sorry that we have to meet under such circumstances. I will go ahead and tell you I'm angry. I'm not going to be talking about any alleged crimes or anything like that. There's nothing that I can add to that, and it's not really my business to drag somebody else's life through the mud for my own personal gain. I don't care to acknowledge that accusations were made, but as far as that stuff goes, I really just don't have anything to say about it. Just to reassure you, because I know you're watching, bitch, this isn't monetized. I'm not making anything off of this. It's marked for adults, as it should be. My major problem with the things that took place last night was that for some reason a video of me was included. I was called a dumbass before the video was brought up, which, okay, whatever. But then I was quote mined and lied about what I was even talking about in that video. That video had not a thing to do with any alleged crimes. It had nothing to do with that whatsoever. It was a result of those things that happened. This was just why this video was made. No new information was brought. It was purely just to shit on people. It was purely just to set and read conversations that people tried to have like adults about this situation, and then said, no, they're a piece of shit. If you watch those people, you're a piece of shit. If you associate with anybody that associates with anybody, then you're a fucking piece of shit. That's what the message was last night. And Jay, go fuck yourself, bitch. You know, like, you want to say something, come here and fucking say it. What's up, man?
You tell me, homeboy?
Why'd you lie about me, man?
I didn't fucking lie about you. You goddamn know. You ain't never heard me tell a motherfucking lie in my life. In that stream, I watched this, like an hour and a half fucking stream. I watched the whole thing. I've watched it multiple times, my guy. You didn't speak out about what happened about Nancy?
No.
You didn't hear any names? So, bro, let me finish. We literally couldn't even tell what side you're on. You're so, oh, there's stuff going on. And to make a long story short, in that moment, you absolutely were referring to letting all the drama die. You absolutely were referring to maintaining order. I only snipped out a clip from you because that was the most relevant part where you said directly the thing that was the most problematic. If you don't, I don't want to hear it. If you don't understand that I got a lot. No, I had a lot of, again, Joe, like, you're supposed to be a skeptic. You're supposed to be a skeptic. We're supposed to be a friend. So take it on good faith, bro. I'm telling you right now to your face. I'm right here on your channel, telling you to your, I'm telling you to your face right now, bro. I had a lot of, do you see how long that stream was? Stream was 5 hours, bro. And I didn't even go through I didn't even read through all the threads. I didn't even read through all the replies. I didn't read through all, what y'all saw last night was like maybe a tenth of the motherfucking receipts we got. Joe, I have so much shit on this. It's fucking embarrassing, bro.
Trust me, bro.
What do y'all think we're getting this stuff from? I'm close with Patty. Like, what do you, like, the fact that y'all
care?
Yes, she was one of the people that she came to. The only people that were there were SR and Nancy. So I don't know why you play this game. Like, the people you're hearing from, they weren't there. They're, Joe, come on. Did SR assault Nancy? Yes or no?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Then you're not paying attention, Joe. Why don't you know, Joe?
Because I don't think it's been sufficiently shown.
So if that, how do you not think it's been sufficiently shown, bro? Did you not see her text? What are her texts? What are her texts? Crying about the case not going forward, saying he's gonna get away with it again, calling him a woman beater. See, why is there a million excuses, bro? Like, yo, dude, SR threw her. I hope you know SR.
I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm not saying that.
You're trying to protect your ass. I think you know this happened, but you won't say it. A lot of y'all do not have the expertise, the education, or the lived experience for these issues. You brought up me being a professor, but I'm also more than that, bro. I'm a black man. I've had to live that life that you don't know what it's like to be a minority in a predominantly white space. I'm also a community organizer, bro. I've worked, all these people throwing around this legal shit. I've worked in the legal department for the city of New York. I used to work in the prosecutors and sit in criminal trials every fucking day. So a lot of people talking a lot of legal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Maya, I know you do, which is why we're so fucking ashamed of you. That's why Maya's ass was called out, because Maya is supposed to understand these things. Maya is supposed to have a certain level of education and sophistication.
You don't accept anything from anyone that should know these things. You don't accept anything.
I do accept it from them. They've shown us, nothing that anybody has shown is anything but a bunch of shit that happened before and a bunch of shit that happens after. And these people keep talking about a video that doesn't exist, Joe. So again, people keep saying Patty and Nancy are lying. What were we supposed to do other than go on and show, here are the people saying Patty and Nancy are lying, and here's the evidence that Patty and Nancy are not lying? The effect of people saying things like that has the chilling effect. It's called the chilling effect.
Yeah, right.
And then it makes other people who are whistleblowers, other people who are witnesses, other people who might want to come forward and say, I don't want to do that, because if I come forward and I start talking about this, or I say what I've experienced, or I say what I've seen, people are also I'm gonna have to go against this pressure of these influencers. Hey, we really shouldn't be talking about this. At the same time, you have a bunch of people running around going that we're violating Nancy's consent and Patty's violating Nancy's consent, and none of us should be talking about it because Nancy doesn't want that. And I understand that again, that's out there. But then when you have that and then you combine it with other people saying, hey, let's just not talk about it, and the chilling effect that has, especially when I hate to say it, but they're not standing on it. Joe, I hate to say this, but you're really dumb. Like, you're just not, you just don't have, do not ever call me a liar because I did not lie. Joe, you, okay. And also, how did I lie about Elliot Cantor? Who was the private investigator? I literally, and see this, Joe, you talk about people taking people out of context. I literally said on the stream, clear it up. I literally said, this is the Elliot Cantor we could find to the best of our ability. And if he wasn't the investigator or we're not being honest about what his information is, I literally explained that we could not find an Elliot Cantor lawyer with the name that was spelled on the website. It did seem like the other, and people looked into it. They tried to match pictures. They tried to match phone numbers. How much more fucking transparent can we be?
All right. That was productive. There we go. Yeah. So, Maya. Hold on.
Hey, everybody. I said I was going to be well-mannered because apparently I'm too well-mannered. Being well-mannered is bad, which is so funny that Jay gets on a stream every week and tells people we have to cut off our families. As atheists, we need to take the high ground and, we need to shun them so that they see. And, I've been trying to tell them for years. I'm like, that's not how this happens. When you're like the little guy on the totem pole, you can't act like you're in the majority position. It doesn't work like that. And so what he wants to do, they want to come on and just like they did last night, they want to throw names. They want to yell and act. I understand that probably gets them their way in public. But in here, it's just like, are you really trying to intimidate me on the internet? Like, it just makes you look ridiculous. I heard that Crystal got kicked out of more Discords because Jay, in his infinite wisdom, decided to tell everybody that, oh, yeah, see, we be collecting your DMs and we will show people. But it's like freaking people out. Like, I just thought that it was understood that, our conversations are private. And even the stuff with Jay last night where he was like, this is Maya saying that, KC was right. And I'm like, look, no, here, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to just kind of clear up what I said. When I saw Jay going live, well, I actually didn't see it. I was DM'd on 4 different platforms from a bunch of people. And they're like, Maya, Jay's not listening to us. Can you try to get him to listen? And Casey Gleason made a statement in Jay's side chat just saying, she's saying that Nancy lied and that the police report showed that. My comment to Jay was, don't disregard this.
That's all I was saying.
There are 2 police reports and they are conflicting. And what I was hoping for was that he would be like, wait, this is making sense. Something, asking a clarifying question, because that's what a skeptic does. So I don't have the police reports. I mean, if I did, I would have read them.
Sure.
5 hours without, and just not even mention like, oh, well, like today you do a stream and now all of a sudden we find out that he has the police report. So, I mean, and at this point, it feels like he's just disregarding evidence that doesn't suit his narrative. They keep wanting to say, oh, well, Patty said, I believe Patty, and that's great. For those of us who've spoken to Nancy, I am an employee relations investigator, and I know that people will say one thing at first, and then they'll sleep on it and remember things later. I know that people will feel more supported, and more information will come out later. I know that they'll, and it may even be a different statement, especially with when you're talking about essay. I also know that people are not clear up front and may say different things, while they're at NanoCon than they may when they're, at home and feel more comfortable with talking to the police. Maybe she didn't. Believe the NanoCon investigators, that's fine. My issue personally is that her voice sounds different. When after she told her husband, her voice sounds different. And that's a huge concern to me because the way she talks is different. I don't know how to say that.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I have been here 100%. I believe Nancy. If Nancy came out, even if I believe that she's being pressured by her husband to say something different than what she had told everybody, and she was very consistent the entire time up until she told her husband. She was very consistent. She did not change. That was months. And then she told her husband, and things changed. And again, that can happen when you feel more supported. I am not taking that away from her, but I don't believe that anybody is being unreasonable when they say, "I want to hear it from Nancy." It is infantilizing to have this overbearing Black guy tell you what you need to believe about a woman that he hasn't spoken to, about one of her most traumatic moments. Like, how fucking tone deaf do you have to be coming in here mansplaining women's trauma to a bunch of fucking women? I don't care what color they are.
He had said that, like, I don't assume the conversation. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is it me?
I'm sorry. Are you still there? You know, he had talked about the conversations between women that he wouldn't, you know, say that those are, he wouldn't involve himself in those. But then when there's women who have spoken to Nancy, but that's dismissed. I don't know if you're still there, Maya, but if you go out and come back in, if you're having a mic problem, it may fix it. Hey, Bre.
Hello. I just wanted to address some things that were said about me here that are not true. Because I can't just let it slide.
Sure.
People keep saying stuff about me. I did come into Gather when this was going on, before Sue Mance found out, but after Nancy had come to me and said that she wasn't, that she wasn't, didn't want him to know, and she wanted to keep this lid on this and whatnot. But I did come to Gather because while she trusted, said SR was fine, trusted him and everything, I was scheduled to go stay with him, so I was worried and scared.
Oh, whoa, Bre, can we, I don't want to rehash all of this because Nancy I know you do, but Nancy asked us, the last thing we heard from Nancy is that she wanted us to keep this quiet. I don't want to go into details.
I'm not giving any details about Nancy. Okay. I'm just saying why I went together, because I didn't trust the guy and wanted to consult my friends about it, because that's where my friends were. I came to Gather to talk to Sumami and Jay and Chris, not Chris, but Stephanie, and that I wanted to confide in them about this because I was conflicted about it and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, she's telling me.
Nobody's blaming you for this, though. I mean, I know you feel bad because Jay said your name. Fuck that guy.
Over and over again, they're saying.
Nobody thinks that he is a sane human being. Like my DMs, like the rooms that I've been in, like nobody believes he's a sane human being. There are reasons that people are unsubbing from him. There are reasons that nobody is associating with anybody that's associating with him. They look fucking crazy right now. And you, Joe, smoke a bowl, smoke a pack of cigarettes. I'm gonna send you some cigarettes, because fuck them. They don't get to control our lives. I think it is abhorrent that he gets on here and reads all of Nancy's your personal business, Nancy's personal business. There's a reason that you sent those to him in private. And him deciding, I've decided that Bre isn't serious. I've decided that Bre's not sending me this because she wants to support Nancy. So I am going to put Nancy's personal business out there. Because I am the arbiter of all that is good and all that is right, and fuck that shit. I am not letting you two. Joe, you're going to have a cigarette in your hand the whole goddamn time. I don't care if you're bouncing a baby on your lap. Bre, you are not, and Bre, I am not letting you apologize for what you did. You ran to your friends in your time of need, and the whole reason, like PC's up there last night crying, like, I can't believe I lost all my friends. This is fucking why. This whole thing is fucking why. Because nobody can trust you bitches. There's a reason about this. There's a reason they went to Bre. There's a reason I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had to be debriefed. I was pulled into a support group, and because people trust me. Like it is so nuts that they're saying all this stuff, and that it just didn't even occur to them to try to talk to Nancy before going live with this. Or, if Patty, who has a way bigger channel than Jay, didn't feel comfortable doing this on her channel, if this is something that Jay wanted to do for her because she asked him to do it, fine. But to pit the entire community against each other, to say that we weren't doing anything when we did.
Exactly.
That is bullshit. I want everybody to hear me now. They did nothing wrong. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I wasn't there. I'm not actually making, and I'm with you, Joe. I'm not making a stand on this. I was not there. Everything I heard was third hand, really.
Yeah.
And I don't feel, as a skeptic, I don't feel comfortable saying this happened, which is why I haven't been vocal about the events. I don't have a leg to stand on. I'm hearing from people who heard from Nancy. Like that, you don't do that.
And I'm still adhering to what Nancy told me.
Yeah.
I'm not going with what anybody else told me. I believe Nancy. And Nancy, I trust her what she told me was true. I don't think that she would have put me in harm's way. So no, I don't believe that the lies that are being told about Nancy.
And to be clear, people that Jay is saying fuck you to are like the entire NanoCon investigation crew. People that were in the room when it happened. People that picked Nancy off the floor after she fell down it. Jay is saying fuck you. Your narrative is inconvenient to me. These are the people I was talking to, by the way, when I was trying to figure out what happened, because people were talking around me, and I'm trying to figure out what our level of support needs to be. When we say believe women, it start the investigation. Let the evidence speak for itself. If women were believed always the way that Nancy was believed, there would not be a believe women movement. And you can thank people like Casey Gleason for that, like Arden Hart for that, like Ben for that. And Bre, I can't remember if you were there or not. I know you were there a lot for the support.
I was not at NanoCon, no.
So I think that whenever we talk about believing somebody, that doesn't mean that you believe them no matter what anybody else says or does.
Regardless of that, yeah, regardless of evidence. Like nobody wants an Emmett Till situation either.
When you go out of your way to do that, you're not. There's no integrity to the conclusion that you're coming.
It's the same thing, only you're marginalizing men now. Like if you don't, so I mean, are we saying don't believe men? Like, and again, as a feminist, I have to take issue with that because that's not.
Yeah.
Feminists are for the equality of the sexes. If you're bringing one down, you're bringing both down. And I stand by that wholeheartedly. And I will fight anybody who says otherwise. No, we need to keep each other. We need to prop each other up. Again, I don't know what happened. I've never quote unquote supported SR. But yeah, I'm not leading a riot or, with pickaxes and torches to have him. If like a Skeptic Haven, they've done their investigations, they've come to the conclusion that they've concluded. I heard about that they did some kind of due diligence. And I'm like, okay, I'm not part of Skeptic Haven. I can't, whatever, the conclusion was they came to, but it was the same conclusion that NanoCon came to. And it was the same conclusion that the police came to. And when Jay is like, oh no, it came later after she reported it. Were we supposed to call the police before she reported it? Like, how, before we knew we were supposed to report? I don't even understand what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah, I don't like.
I don't. So here's the thing. I was not on good terms with SR. We're okay now because again, Nancy convinced me that he was going to be safe, and I talked to him when I was in Austin. But before that, we had kind of a falling out, and we weren't getting along at all. So when she told me about this, I was all on board. I did see Red and want to do lynch and whatnot.
It wasn't just Bre. Everybody at NanoCon felt that way. Where they were just like, oh my God, you hurt Nancy. Like, Nancy is so fucking loved.
Nancy's the one who's just like, no, you cannot be, it's like, I'm gonna cut his dick off and stuff like that. Just saying, she's like, no, you can't be like this. She had support from me, like more support than anybody seems to grasp. Me and Nancy were I'll just say we were very, very close up until her spouse took over her social media account and we couldn't talk anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, and I want to say this, Nancy. Okay, and I'm not slut shaming. Both Nancy and Elliot were inebriated. From what I'm hearing, it was hard to determine what had happened. As soon as they were able to grasp the severity that there was some kind of an assault, an investigation started immediately. Part of that investigation was calling the proper authorities. I don't know what the authorities were. It was part of whatever the land where they were on. So then she did also, once she got home, at some point call the cops. And there were those investigations. There were people who, her husband, I believe, was in India at the time. Casey Gleason asked her, do you want me? She was like, I don't have to go back to my own state. I will go to your state and stay with you until your husband comes back into the country, because this is crazy. I think that you shouldn't be alone right now. Nancy said no. So Casey can't get on a plane with Nancy and break into her house because Nancy, I don't know, Jay thinks that Nancy should have been supported regardless of whether she wanted to be supported or not. It's like, she's a woman in her 40s, goddamn.
And she was supported. In what way did we not support her? And when she said this happened, we're like, yes,
chronically online.
She said it didn't happen. We said, yes, let's get him. And then she cut us off, and that was the last of it. And then we hear third person that she's pursuing it again.
And Jay is saying that she didn't she left because she wasn't feeling supported, and that is bullshit because she cut off Patty at the same time. And I know this because Patty was crying to me and Bre about it. She had no idea where Nancy was. Nancy cut off everyone. And it wasn't until almost a week later when Patty finally got communication from Nancy, and then Patty told us Nancy's fine. She was elated. We were elated because we thought he found out, and her husband found out. We thought that he jumped to conclusions. What I'm hearing from Nancy and Patty is that he has a bit of a temper, and I'm just like, I don't know what to think at that point.
We were scared for her.
Yes, and so we were all jumping up and down. I was like, oh my God, she's alive, but she didn't leave. I mean, if she left because she wasn't feeling supported, was she not feeling supported from Patty either? Because we were in constant communication with Patty daily, hourly. If Patty was awake, she was in communication with someone. Help me find Nancy, help me find Nancy, help me find Nancy. So, I mean, just Jay's story doesn't make any sense to begin with. And again, he was not there.
Yeah, that was.
And he has not asked anybody who was there. Everybody who was there that's tried to reach out to him, he's just like, oh, well, I'll cherry pick this because it makes you look bad and makes me look good. And then I'll just throw the rest of it away. Last night when he was going through Glenda's post, we were like, oh, yes, finally, he's on Glenda's Facebook. He got to Glenda's Facebook post and he read a little blip of it, like the part that he wanted to focus on. And then the rest didn't suit his narrative. So he was just like, okay, we'll just move on now. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
He's incapable of hearing what I said in that video. Yeah. Like that this is the same thing that I went through with I Killed Earl, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm showing you exactly what it's here, and you're just incapable because you believe something else, and
right.
fathom yourself in the
gaslighting.
wrong.
The gaslighting, my God. And here's where I am with Jay. I mean, again, this is very indicative of Jay. He's very headstrong. He gets something in his head. And even if I can get him to pivot on an issue, he'll sleep it off. And the very next day, it's like, nope, we're back over here again.
I'll be
Jay,
right back.
okay. Jay at this point cannot back down from his narrative. He's saying like, oh, I would want to sue her. I would want to. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't, because right, he's too far in. Like right now, like his whole personality is wrapped up in this thing. And I don't even know how he would save face if and nobody trusts him, more or less. So, I mean, him, Crystal, Kyle, like all the rest of them, like it's to the point where no one trusts them and they have no recourse but to double down. And this is the type of thing that I'm talking about when I talk to people and I'm like, there's got to be forgiveness and a pathway to redemption. But like that, I don't even know how I ask you guys for that here. I mean, it's just what they're doing is so fucking vile. The stochastic terrorism, the bigotry. Like, how do you look a woman in her face? What she said to Ember, and Ember, I am so sorry because I know you don't. Here, Ember, just mute. She said to Ember was that she's not a woman. She doesn't deserve her children. She's the reason that no woman can trust any man. What the fuck is wrong with you? That is what Sumami said to Ember. Jay, PC, they saw these screenshots. And Jay's like, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any bigotry, and neither did you. Fuck you. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, but it's crazy. He was like, oh, excuse me. He was like, she was talking about all the women. And that message, I know the trans woman that message Joe was showing to him was sent to. And Sumami literally said, you're cosplaying. Have fun cosplaying and all that. It's not.
Yeah, and she doesn't deserve her children. She's going after people's kids.
She brought up my kids last night.
Yeah, no, and she's doing that because she knows, like, she's going for blood. Like, she is nuts. What she did to Jay last night was just quintessential. She has no ability to regulate her emotions, and she's mad. She wants to go for blood. She has an assault charge. I don't know if it's a charge or actually.
I have no idea what the charges were or anything about.
I know. Well, no, not about what it was about, but if it was a charge or if it was a conviction.
I was told that it doesn't matter.
But I mean, like, I don't.
I'm not hanging out her dirty laundry. It's not. I'm
No, I mean, no. It's not even about. It's not Bre. This is the same woman who put your sex life out there. Fuck that shit.
Right,
it's not It is not putting her dirty laundry out there when she is actively threatening bodily harm to the whole of the community. You cannot. Yeah. You can't turn a blind eye to something like that when somebody is engaging in these actions.
That's the thing I was trying to get to. Is like, how are you excusing this though? And he did, but.
He tried to make it a racial thing too. Like, since we're black, we can do that.
Well, yeah, because white people don't like being called racist. So if I throw out the race card, you'll just fold like a lawn chair. Like everything they were doing, throwing out the race card, throwing out, I'm whiter than you. I'm more LGBT than the LGBT community. I'm, more of an ally than any of the allies. Like all of this is just, to try to regain the high ground and to shut us up because, of some type of shame that they think we should feel. But I'm just like, it was the same with Earl. She was like, well, I'm part of the LGBT community. I'm like, bitch, you're ace. Like, I'm ace. Don't even start that. We go through life straight passing. So there's no like, we get straight privilege. You haven't, and it's hard for me to say, oh, well, I'm part of the LGBT community because part of that is like a lived experience that comes from being in that marginalized group that I haven't had to live. And so, yes, I'm ace, but I mean, it's hard for me to say that I'm more than an ally to the LGBT because I haven't had any of the problems that you guys have had. I do. Like me and Jay have done like almost all the same shit. There's like sometimes when I get woman privilege and he gets male privilege, but like the black trumps all of that. So to say, I've been an advocate and you've never done this. Well, no, I've done this too. I've been on the ground. I've worked on campaigns. I'm a staunch political advocate and getting people and telling people stuff and getting people to vote and things like that. And most of it's IRL more so than the community, but like he doesn't get like the pass on that one. He doesn't get the black card. Like, it pisses me off that he's using it because he's distorting it. He's just trying to shut you up. And that's
Sue should be able to make threats and
because I'm black, because she's a woman, because we're LGBT. Yeah, so she should be able to call you every name in the get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I couldn't understand the logic of like somehow like trying to censor someone because they made threats. I didn't understand that, like that I was supposed to be okay with that because I don't understand black people.
No,
I didn't understand what he was getting at with that. Like
there wasn't anything to make sense of. He wanted to shut you up.
I don't know if like he was. I don't know. I have no idea where the race thing came into that at all.
Yeah,
Both the people in the conversation that we're having are Mayo. Nancy's Mayo, Elliot's Mayo, right?
Yep.
So I don't know where
Yep.
race comes into it at all.
It was like an
Neither
authority
does he.
thing because it was like in this conversation, I have to give authority to the person that's making threats because of this, but it had nothing to do with the actual issue at hand. I was just lost with that, and I don't mean to. If there's, I'm always open. If I'm seeming insensitive to something, fucking tell me. Like I just didn't get it.
I mean, and again, there is nothing to get.
Yeah.
He's just trying to shut you up.
He didn't like that I switched the Hitchens thing on him at the end. That was funny, but
He doesn't like anything that doesn't suit his narrative. And people are looking at me like weird, like he's just grifting, and I'm like, he's got all the grifter like shit going on. So like, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Fuck it.
He kept like whenever I would get to make a point, like he would then interrupt me to shout at the chat rather than listen to what I was saying.
Because it was inconvenient.
Yeah, and I mean, like, okay, I know, like he's reacting, and Jay's, he's reactionary, but at the same time, it's like you won't even let me finish this because you want to sit here and cuss everybody in chat, which I'm not cool with. And I winced a couple times at him saying that stuff, but I was trying to get to the fucking point. Is why I'd kind of let that go. It wasn't a I'm okay with what he was saying stuff. It was like, I'm trying to fucking drive to this point if he'll shut up long enough for me to do it.
But, and he won't, because like there's nothing you can say that doesn't make him look like a jackass. The truth of the matter is Nancy was believed by everyone. She was always believed. Nobody shunned her. Nobody dogpiled her.
Well, that's what I was showing was whenever Nancy first stepped away, that was what people knew. And everybody was supportive and all this other things. And then
Nancy there were multiple support groups for Nancy. Like our whole thing the entire time. And Jay wasn't there for it because he didn't find out about any of this until after the fact. By his own admission, before Jay found out about any of this, Nancy had multiple support groups. She had multiple people saying that they would fly to be by her side. All she had to do was ask. I don't know, like Jay is saying, well, I have these text messages from Patty. And I'm like, good for you. I have text messages from Nancy stating the opposite. And when asked last night, who do we believe? The words coming out of Nancy's mouth were you. He said me. I was floored when I heard that. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Joe, you're doing the right thing because I'm doing the same thing. When you're presented with conflicting evidence, you say, okay, I have conflicting evidence. You reserve judgment until you get something. Even if it's one more person reporting, if it's video evidence, if it's something, like a skeptic doesn't believe women over men. That's not what it is. That's not #blame women is, we want due process. We want the rule of law we want you to stop not believing us. We want you to stop laughing us out of the police station. It wasn't even being investigated. Like, that's how bad it was. And that he doesn't know that he's using, I have to wonder because he's not stupid. And it's not like he's not knowledgeable of these movements. He knows that women weren't even getting the investigation. We're like, can we at least get to the investigation? Can at least get thrown out of court? Can a judge see it though? And I'm not saying that doesn't always happen, but you can't just say, okay, he said that he had, I don't know how much stock to put into this because in one hand he said, what evidence? There's no evidence. There isn't any evidence. I haven't seen any evidence. And then, an hour later I saw somebody sent me the police report, but I didn't need to
have when I asked him directly.
Right. But I didn't need to read that.
Yeah.
What are we doing? But Jay doesn't lie. Jay's not a liar. He takes his, reputation very seriously. Okay. But I'm thinking, if I wanted to do a Jay type stream, and I have, I would try my hardest, knowing that there's 2 police reports out there. That would be like my whole thing, getting my hands on those. I mean, because it took no time to find a lot of people's rap sheets. I know the first and last names and addresses of everybody that was in that stream yesterday. So it's just not hard to do. I'm just saying.
I share mine online once every 6 months just to let everybody know.
It's like, yeah, you don't have this over me. I don't give a fuck. But I mean, it's just the point. Like, how hard is it? Like, if without trying, me being around people, I didn't have to look for it. The information happened to cross my path because I'm a trusted person and people trust me with shit. And it happens to make me very well connected. And I mean, it's nice if I need it, but like, guys, I want to say to you, like, the people in this community take this shit very seriously. And I don't know how many people are still here. But I was in a room, 33. I need you to know that I was in a room with NanoCon investigators. They have taken this very seriously. They're adamant that they don't want this to happen again. They're talking about having like messaging and like even seminars on, so that everybody that comes through understands consent, that people, when they're drinking, have buddies, that, we are not putting ourselves into precarious situations when, maybe not that we were trying to get drunk, but sometimes things like that happen that we do. And it's happened to me, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is fruity. This is great. I'll have another. Oh, now I have to use the bathroom. Oh, whoa, where did the floor come from? This has happened to all of us, right? And I too, I'm a Sagittarius. I get very flirty when I'm very flirty drunk. I personally always have a
Can
girl
I confirm that?
Free can, yeah.
Yeah.
I always have a girl crew whenever I'm going out drinking because I know that I can't trust myself. But and not all people are there. And it's hopeful to have somebody who's just like, okay, no, break it up. And again, what I loved hearing last night is they're looking at things on consent for people with neurodivergent brains, so that they can pick up on cues better, as it relates to sex and consent. And there were a lot of things that they were talking about, but they are serious. That was just really heartwarming to hear how serious they were taking it. Jay has got this narrative going that nobody cares about Nancy, that nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
What people are doing have been behind the scenes. It has been to protect and support and uplift victims in a way that is not like anything that's infantilizing or embarrassing. There are adults in the room that are really doing things. There are 3 organizations I know that because of this have had multiple meetings about platforming SR or what they should do when they have events coming up. This has not been taken lightly. So for anybody who's here or who wants to clip this part, I know you're just like listening to me, but again, I'm very well connected. So if you're like, hey, I have this thing coming up, or this thing is coming up, and I want to know how safe it will be for me to go. I'm not going to be there, but I could connect you with probably at least one of the organizers who could possibly connect you with other people. They are so serious about wanting you to be there, wanting you to feel safe there. Like all of the cons, even before Jay started running off at the mouth, they were all everybody knew about this. Everybody was taking it seriously, like all the event organizers. So, I mean, that is the community that you're a part of.
And we were taking it seriously too. Like me, Maya, Ember, SR wasn't shit to us. We hardly know the guy. Like,
yeah.
And we
I
were
still noticed.
Nancy.
He hasn't been back on my channel.
I interacted with the people from NanoCon, and like I said, there was they took just a claim that was put on Facebook. They took very seriously, and it was a big deal. Yeah. And so I find it. I'm not saying it's not true because I don't know, but I find it difficult to believe that then a larger thing they wouldn't. Right. I just don't. It's not consistent. And maybe they're not consistent. I don't know. But hey, Glenda, I made a joke that I was going to do a stream and get for my fat ass and go out in the yard.
Is Glenda out there? Hey, if Glenda's out there, hi, Glenda.
I thought
Glenda
it was
it's Calliope Hoop.
Oh, okay. Calliope Hoop.
That's
gotcha. Glenda's awesome. Anything that she's
the fire dancer, just the audacity to do a performance that might arouse people.
How dare you?
Adult event.
Yeah, Glenda's on Facebook. Anything she's a part of, I stand behind. And she's very open, very transparent. If you hit her up and say, hey, she can get you the resources you need for the event. If she happens to be an organizer of that event, she's amazing. And again, I'm not shitting. I want to before I get out of here, I want to make sure, I'm not shitting on SR. I've distanced myself from both sides until, we can kind of figure out what's what. But in that time, Bre can say, I've only ever expressed love and support for both Nancy and Patty. And again, when Nancy left the community, she ghosted Patty too. So Jay's claim that we
all left on good terms too. So this Jay thing come up, I didn't know anything was going on at all that was accusing us of anything. We left on good terms. You saw the departure. That was the last time we talked to either of them.
And Patty was talking to us. So
Patty was still on my friends list until after this Jay stream.
Yeah.
We were still friends. Yeah. It's nonsense that there was any kind of shunning. That's all retroactively added on. What they told us was Nancy was stepping away for good, and that Patty was taking time. Well, you saw it. Then Patty was taking time away to figure out what she was going to do
with the channel.
We did mention in our Java and Jugs that hey, Patty's streaming again when she put up that new video because we were all still subscribed to her channel and still thought we were friends with her.
Yeah, we were.
Thought that there was a possibility she was going to come back.
Yeah, up until the. I mean, and we were all in her chat. She was talking to us. She was happy to see us. Throwing our, I just. Yeah. But also in DMs. So this whole narrative that Jay is trying to perpetuate, Jay was not there. He just wasn't. He wasn't part of any of it. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
And by Jay's own admission, I had been there up until Nancy left. I was there when it all happened. I saw the fallout of it. When they, I don't. Jay was not. He was not. He just was not. So. Well, I don't know.
He's got incentive now too, so that's the thing. But I was just trying to be as honest as I could. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I don't I've seen all these things said. I knew that there was an accusation being made the day that the first one was made during NanoCon, but I didn't know any details about that or anything to speak on it or to make any decisions. I knew that and it was given to me secondhand, so I wasn't, I wasn't going to speak.
Mhm.
That
No,
was
hey,
a big thing to do.
Joe, that is the right thing to do.
But
If you don't know, you don't speak, and I support that from you. I support that from everyone. That you wait until you have enough information to make a decision, and then you move forward from there. I don't think that anybody should move forward on their own. Like for me, when Derek had Dr. Bob on, it had been 2 years, and the community had a fair amount of turnover. There were people who were like, "What's wrong with Dr. Bob?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" I don't know if you noticed, but like close to like 13 to 15 people came through my chat. I didn't talk. I let people who were, who were there, who were in the room, tell their stories, their firsthand accounts. I showed a video of the words coming out of Bob Price's mouth and him doubling down on bigoted statements. And then the people that came through was like, yes, I've been in contact with Dr. Bob recently. I've been in contact with Derek recently. Bob hasn't changed. Derek does know. And this is our story. And it wasn't a call to do anything to Derek. I wanted the community to understand, okay, if you're going to be a part of Myth Vision, if you're going to support Dr. Bob, I want you to know who he is. He kind of went underground for a little bit and then he resurfaced. And so I'm like, a lot of this stuff has been lost. I want you to be able to make informed decisions. I've never, ever called for anybody to be silenced. I've never been part of any like silencing network or like, I don't know, this kind of weird cabal that everybody seems to be, guys, like, I need to tell you this. I'm not an actual goddess. I just play one on TV.
Oh, bullshit.
I mean, my way of quote unquote silencing people is showing other people the words that came out of their mouth or the words that they typed to other people. Like, it's not me saying, all right, I don't like PC and you're not allowed to like her either, or else I'm going to take all your subscribers away. Like, it's just, Joe, I mean, like,
Yeah, I get that once a month. I'm joking. But
I'm sorry,
no,
I'm going to jump out.
There's the direct events that are the foundation of this whole thing, and then there's this whole cloud of bullshit going on around it too. And
There's this conspiracy theory about a big cover up that like all of us girls were taking part in, and I don't understand. There's no reason given for it other than like some kind of weird loyalty they think we have to the community and these organizations. I don't work with any of these organizations at all.
I refuse to go to them, so I don't know why I would be.
I'm not.
But it's nothing against them. It's just I'm not an atheist, so it just feels weird going to atheist events. And again, it's not that I don't support them, and all the time. Like Joe, you had your atheist thing going on. I brought in SR the last time he was on. It was to help promote the event. I don't have anything against it. It's just I have no reason to want to.
So my goals have been to get more involved in activism on the ground where I can, and that has put me in contact with different organizations and different people within those organizations, because I, like the ARC thing, Jay acts like somebody gave me permission to do that. I did it because I wanted to do it. I took the initiative to get off my big ass and do it is why it happened. And I had a lot of help. Let's not forget that. But that's why that exists, though, is because I was trying to get to, there's a whole host of atheists and atheist activists that aren't on YouTube, okay, and they do great things out there, and they do these events, and they truly want to help people, and they're good people, and so I was trying to expand my networking in that direction, because that's an aspiration of mine, like that's why that's there, though.
Bre, I'm sorry I cut you off. Did you want to say anything
about
anything?
Well, I mean, I think I've said most of what I want to say. Is just this conspiracy that we're doing some kind of cover up, or that we've shunned anybody. All this is like retroactively added on to things. That none of that is what happened after the incident. Up until, again, Sumant cut her off. Me and Nancy had a close relationship. I don't know where there's getting this idea that there was like friction, and that's why they left the group. Right up until she was cut off from us, we were in a good place. Like, as in our friendship, I guess the best way to put it, in our relationship. So it's really weird that this narrative about us shunning her. That I was hurt. I mean, when she unfriended me and blocked me out of nowhere with no message or anything, I was like hurt. And then Patty came to us with the situation with Sumant, and then I was scared for her because we were close.
We were, and I mean, we don't show the DMs because we're like adults, but
right.
I
with DMs forever. Over, and there was nothing.
But no, like Jay saying, "Oh, I have the DMs. I have DMs," and I'm like, I have DMs from Patty after Nancy left the community, we're still friends. We're still laughing and joking. Everybody's still cool. So Nancy's so mad that nobody will believe her, and Patty's so pissed off about it. But she's still laughing and joking with all the people in the community that she's mad at, right? And I don't like. He's talking about make it make sense. I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out because what he's saying does not line up with what actually happened in reality.
Right. Like I was still subscribed to their channel and everything. I when I found out that Sumance had taken over her social media account, I stopped trying to contact Nancy though, because I didn't know any way to contact her that wouldn't go through him. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want the conversation I wanted to have with Nancy. I did not want Sumance to be able to see because of what she had told me about him. So yeah, I didn't have any way to contact her at that point, but I trusted Patty.
Yeah.
Was going to make sure that we were updated at least on what happened.
We all trusted Patty. And again, like what Patty's saying is just, the thing is like what she's saying on Jay's thing doesn't conform with what she said to us. Like we all, like we stayed in touch with Patty. We were asking for updates on Nancy. She was very open, very honest. We were friends. And then this happened. Like I was blown away.
Yeah. But see, here, and the projection came in there because he was like, I'm trying to chill the conversation because of what I'm doing. But that's literally what their whole thing was, right? Is anybody, we're going to shut down, block, and attack and threaten and do all these things to anybody that says anything different to try and get them to not say these different things. And I don't think I was trying.
That's what the threat that was sent to me from Kyle said was you need to stop saying anything other than the narrative that you've been that Patty's repeating. If you say anything other than that, you're in harm's way. Is what came at me. Because I was saying that, talking about the things that Nancy had talked to me about concerning the event, and they didn't like what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's not stuff I'm getting from AJ or whatever. This is conversations I did have with the accuser in this situation. And it's not as a close, intimate friend, conversations I had with her about this whole circumstances over the month after it happened.
Who in the accountability crew has taken accountability for those things?
I was trying to figure out what they're actually doing. They haven't called the police. They haven't started any investigations. They haven't started any Nancy support groups. They certainly weren't in any of the fucking ones that were there before they found, before they find out, obviously, but like, again, everybody supported Nancy and was regularly checking in with her daily, really. They're not starting support groups by their own admission. They're not even talking to her. They're getting updates from Patty.
Which talking publicly for her.
Yeah.
When I know Nancy, okay, I'm going to say I know Nancy better than Jay. I know parts of Nancy better than Patty, I'm sure.
And he's getting mad because we're talking about like conversations we had with Nancy. And he was like, you don't fucking know her better than her sister. And I'm like,
she certainly did confide stuff in me that she would never tell her sister. I promise that.
But the thing is, Jay is saying that Patty's saying this, and Patty is not saying shit anymore. Patty was not there. Patty was not in the room when it happened. Patty was not in the stream last night. Jay is saying that we are blaming the victims. No, we don't believe you, Jay. I don't believe it.
And that's the thing. It was implied that Patty was going to be there last night too. Like she was in the thumbnail with the group of people that were presumably.
Oh. Was that her?
They
yeah, she was. I forgot about that.
They said that she was like messaging during it or something, but like I don't, I
didn't say that.
You have, then it's filtered through whoever wants to, say whatever they got to say, and given their actions, I don't know that is the most.
No, I'm pretty sure that he's just using her for clout, right? Like,
I can't see a point to the stream last night other than that.
We have a grievance with the community, and we're going to use one of Nancy's most traumatic moments to garner attention for ourselves.
I didn't want to speak about any of that, by the way.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Well, they didn't even spend time talking about Nancy last night.
They did not.
They
started crying about, oh my God, you guys like totally don't want to be your friends anymore. Like you said, you didn't care. You said
that about my fucking tits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean,
she spent more time talking about my tits than she did talking about Nancy. Put that out there. By the way, my tits are not saggy. They're super perky. So I don't know where she's getting saggy from.
Well, that fills in some blanks. Whatever.
So,
that was the whole point of the initial stream, and why I could say that it was most definitely taken out of context, because the whole part, the whole thing to that is look, I'm not coming here, I'm not bringing somebody's dirty laundry out and talking about all that stuff, and I don't know what happened, and I'm not going to try to pretend I do. That doesn't mean that I don't believe someone. It means that I don't know, and that's an honest answer to have sometimes, especially when you have conflicting accounts. Like it's not for me to determine either. Like it's not for me to judge it and then go and sentence people as I see fit. It's just not. It's not my place to do that, and I don't.
And oh my God, Casey. Did you see the flying
With
monkey
baggy
T-shirt?
tits. I really liked my flying monkey thing. I got fixed up there. That looked good. I liked it.
Yeah, no, they
I like
didn't try
monkeys.
with mine. Oh, okay. But yeah, for anybody wondering, I guess since I'm going public with this now, the reason I didn't say anything is because I wasn't part of it. But also when it was brought to my attention, my question was, what happened? What was being done? I heard investigations or comfort groups. I was brought into one, and then also I heard there's multiple meetings regarding it. I mean, not just at NanoCon, but also with other organizations that heard about it. Those like Skeptic Haven that aren't doing their own thing, like a what do you call it? Yeah, they're not. Yeah, conventions. Thank you.
Mhm.
Skeptic Haven hasn't had a convention, or they're not doing a convention, but they did talk about it because SR is part of. I don't. Is he the board or like he's on there from time to time? There's NanoCon and there's another convention that, or certainly Casey's, it has a convention coming up. So I know that that's been really important to her that they're talking about all these things. But like this has left an impact. This has not gone. This has not been swept under the rug. It is not going unaddressed. And the reason I haven't talked about it is because I don't feel I need to. That there are a lot of people that are working to make sure that you're comfortable. And if you have a question about that, about what they're doing, my advice to the community is to reach out to either somebody that you trust or one of the board and just say, hey, I'm wondering about this. Can you provide an answer or get me a response, on behalf of the board or the channel or the convention, whatever it is. They will do that. And if enough people ask, I think all of them should make it a part of their webpage, but this isn't something that's being hidden. This isn't something that's being pushed under the rug. I really don't want that narrative to be spread around. It's a lie. And
Yeah.
Jay doesn't know because Jay won't talk to people. He would rather divide us for what reason than
He doesn't. He's like totally missing the factor that someone was telling us, please don't let this information about this get out. My husband could be dangerous and I don't know what he might do. That someone's telling us that is reason not to pursue things further and just let it die. She's like, I would be in danger if my spouse found out. And we were still supposed to pursue it, I guess. We were still supposed to like scream it from the rooftops, even though she was telling us directly that it was going to put her in danger. I don't understand what the expectation was there. I really don't.
But when she was away from her husband, we did do that. So I say we,
Right.
but like that was done. We didn't let him stop anything. And again, there are people on standby right now today that all she has to do is say, I want to go. They would take time off from their jobs. They would hop a plane. They would help her, they would guard him with a fire baton while she's packing her shit and get into U-Haul and get her to someplace safe. Nancy is loved. Nancy is supported. And I don't know how to like say I have evidence, but I mean, I hope that you guys are reading the chat and you're just seeing this outpouring of support. We love Nancy. We support Nancy. We believe Nancy. That is never, ever, ever changed. Not for one day.
That's part of the thing with Patty that I'm confused about. I was like, what are you talking about? You know that we didn't shun you guys and didn't, none of that happened. Like,
No.
I don't know why Patty's saying or framing it that way. Like, that was never a situation. Again, she didn't unfriend me until after Jay's stream last week.
Yeah.
Like, we were still, the last time I talked to her, it was like, good. It was like a boop and then talk. How you doing? Oh, doing all right. I miss you. Shit like that. It wasn't hostile or that, hey, you turned your back on us or anything like that. And then boom, this thing with Jay happens and all of a sudden I'm a flying monkey.
Yeah. And I mean, and I don't understand what turning one's back on her means. Look, she's always been loved and supported. Again, always. So
I think it comes from Nancy asking us to temper Patty down because she was wanting to go all in on this, and Nancy was again worried about her husband's reaction.
Yeah, so Nancy Patty wants to do more, but again, you can't do anything until Nancy says to do more. So I don't know. We are ready to we are waiting to do more. That is a thing.
Yeah.
So, but like Nancy, like Patty and I are days apart. I think Nancy's like 2 years younger, but still, like she's a grown ass woman in her 40s. All we can do is all we can do. Give us the word.
Right? Let us know and we'll support you, whatever direction you want to go. The last thing that Nancy said to me was talking about how, it wasn't an assault or whatever. I'm not saying that it didn't happen and she couldn't have been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And nobody is saying it didn't happen. Nobody has ever said nothing happened. No one ever said nothing happened. I don't know that anyone said that SR was exonerated. It was inconclusive. So, I mean, you can't move forward with no evidence.
Right. And that doesn't mean he's innocent. That doesn't mean we're saying that
he's guilty or innocent. There's not enough information to support more. And so at that point, I don't know. Again, he already wasn't in anybody's streams or doing anything like public outside of the ACA. So I don't understand.
Sure wasn't doing anything with me.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had him on the channel since February. And again, I don't know. I don't know what Jay expects us to do.
Yeah.
What's the action?
We did as much as they did when I told them just days after I found out.
Yeah.
They did as much as I did. And
Oh,
Jay
and you know what?
told Joe,
That's a good point, because he's saying that we waited, and I'm like, the investigation was complete.
Jay sat here and told Joe about me coming in there and telling them about what happened.
No, I know, but
and they said that they believed me,
right?
And I was telling them what Nancy told me, which is still the last thing Nancy told me.
In August, though. That was in August. It's December. The NanoCon investigation happened before she left. Before NanoCon had convened, there was a NanoCon investigation that had escalated to the authorities, and there were people still supporting her, willing to, be witnesses if she wanted to reopen the case when she got home. Jay is still sitting on this, like yelling at us, not saying shit. Has not done anything. He yelled at the Creator Network, and they got mad because they won't do anything. And I'm like, it's called jurisdiction, bitch. Like, if I'm an LA police officer, I can't arrest you for a crime you committed in San Francisco. I mean, maybe if you're in LA, I can pick you up and ship you back, but like, I can't do anything. Yeah, like I can't do anything about, I can't do anything about that. Like, it's called jurisdiction. He's not part of the Creator Network. The Creator Accountability Network. Thank you, Glenda. So they don't have jurisdiction. That is why they didn't do anything. He was at NanoCon, which is why they did something. That's how that works.
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't know how things work. And then he's like, well, she's lying. I'm going to court, and I'm going to, money for mental distress. No, the fuck you're not.
Well, I wasn't going for pity or anything, telling my friends and telling Drew that I was dealing with. I don't make a secret of it. I'm an in the stigma kind of girl. I struggle with some severe mental illnesses that make life really hard for me. So yeah, this does flip those switches. I'm not trying to get sympathy. I'm just trying to be like, hey, just let you know, I'm like in this dark place to my friends so that they know what's going on.
I mean, no, it's the gaslighting. You have the right to talk to your friends. You have the right to, like, everybody ask their friends for help and support. It's nothing different than we did with the Nancy safety groups. It's the gaslighting for me. It's like, oh, we live in a capitalist hellscape. Are you asking for money on your channel like fucking everybody else? Or, are you wearing a wig like fucking everybody else on TV? Or are you, just everything you do is bad. You can't do anything right. They're like teenagers. It's just, I'm going to pick on anything about you because... I'm just trying to hurt you. They're getting on us. It's like, well, what are you doing to help? What are you doing to help? Have you asked? You haven't asked. There's a shit ton of stuff that's going on. There's stuff that I'm saying right now that nobody had any clue was being done for Nancy, that they wouldn't ask, because when somebody said, hey, can I talk to you about this? They said, no, you're a bum ass bitch. Don't talk to me. Don't message me again. Like, Joe,
that's almost word for word. Damn.
Yeah. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to know facts. They just want to have their narrative, and they want to shit on people and provide destruction and hatred. And that's great. I think that people who are in that space need to be in that space, and they can all convene together. All 12 of them can just convene in their little corner and be together and slowly destroy one another.
I think it's more like 7 or 8. I don't think it's that many. It's like 12 is a lot.
Like, I don't know if you're feeling both hands, Maya.
Yeah.
But like over here, we have always been about building each other up. Always. And Jay would know that if he was an actual part of the community, but he's not. He would go live to stream. And then, like, you guys were there, even in Gather, he would rather that, like, we had to ask him to turn on something from somebody that was live, because he would just, like, watch recorded videos all day. He's not really a part of the community. He, I guess is why he finds it so easy to destroy. But like, I've been Mod Maya for quite a few years. My whole thing was getting to know people so that I could see problems before they happen, de-escalate. You make a lot of friends. And
he's benefited from you being there and helping guide his behavior, because there was a couple years ago, he was like really off the rails with his Rebecca Davis stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it got pretty volatile. And
I'm just beating up on a dumb lady. Rebecca's just dumb, y'all. Rebecca Davis is stupid. Is it really because she's a 6 that will smile at you? As much as I hate this raggedy bitch, she really do need some BBC, though. Some good dick would change this bitch's life. Yeah, no, I don't think Rebecca Davis is attractive. Rebecca Davis is trash.
I remember Maya being there and checking his ass and being like, I don't care, what she did. You don't need to be misogynistic talking about how she needs to get some dick and stuff. Yeah. That's what he went on about.
When he doesn't like somebody, like, the gloves are off. It's just, there's nothing, he has no principles when he's mad. Him or Samami. I'm like, they belong together. Crystal, I had higher hopes for her, but it is what it is.
Yeah, me too. I hated that. Maya and obviously you and I talked about it, so I don't guess you imagine me mentioning it, but I didn't even plan on watching that stuff last night.
Right.
The claim that I've made this about me in some way, I made the thing you said about me because it was about me. But like, other than that, like that's not a thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. We've gotten so way off topic. This was just about Joe clearing up his name because Jay fucking lies about everything.
That's the thing too. Is like everybody's like, "Oh, why are you making this all about you? Why are you playing victim?" It's because I'm the one getting threats on my life. What do you mean? Why am I making it about me? The threats are about me.
But he just actually lied on him. And as somebody who, like, before when all this was happening, I can't tell you how many DMs I got. It's like, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you talking? Jay's saying a lot of shit about you. And, you know, so like me not saying anything made it look like, you know, I'm like, yeah, what Jay's saying. And so I would respond. I responded to all my DMs. Which is fucking exhausting. And I'm kind of glad I'm here to say all this right now because now and I'm glad that Jay did his stream yesterday because when people want to know how fucking crazy he is, I can just show them that he did not come off well at all. And when people want to know how I feel, I can be like, watch the last hour and a half of Joe's stream. I don't know. I might ask if I can cut this up.
Hey, do whatever you want. You're always welcome to anything I do. I don't care. Share it wherever you want.
I just would like this to be the last time I have to sit down and talk about this. I do not run a drama channel. I don't even run an atheist channel. I run a science channel.
Same.
And skeptic channel. That's what I do. It's the fact that my audience overlaps with the atheist experience audience or with the lion audience is circumstantial. Yeah. I never marketed myself as like part of an atheist community or anything like that. I don't even consider myself an atheist, really.
Same, but
I love my atheist audience too.
I do. Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
Obviously.
I'm not denouncing you or anything, especially you, Joe. You're one of my favorite atheists. So
Joe knows all too well how I feel about him.
Yeah.
Saying that.
They're saying that you got it set up so it's just you on the screen is what they're saying or just your avatar on the screen.
Yeah.
What?
That's what the audience is saying. That's what Best Name is saying.
Oh, hey.
Now
Joe's
it's just
not
me
here at all. Ha ha ha.
The two of us.
All right, girl stream.
We're taking over.
But I don't know.
People that do not deserve to be targeted have been targeted for doing things
that they didn't do. It just factual. Everything he's saying factually did not happen, and he doesn't know because he wasn't there, and he's cherry picking information that he wants to believe. Okay, fine. I'm done. All right, so we are approaching Jay's 5-hour stream time. You wanna wrap it up?
Yep, let's do it. So thank you, Bre and Maya, for coming and talking. Thank you, Jay, for freaking out and leaving. Thank you.
And proving our point.
I kind of wish he had been here to talk to me. I want him to confront me and the things he said about me. I want him to tell me what he thinks that why he's framing me coming to him for him and his friend and the rest of them for guidance is me being flying monkey because I was talking to them, asking them for support and advice on how to handle things. So it's really weird to frame it that way. That I was telling them a story when I was asking them for guidance because I didn't want to deal with it and didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Bre, and I as always, you know, it's always a joy to talk to you and listen to you play music and whatever else it is. You know, like I enjoy talking with you guys and the friendships that we make and the community that we create, and that's really what was at play here and why this is a thing and why like it became necessary. And Maya said a few things that kind of made me realize, you know, that this wasn't going to stop and it was going to be worse and keep going and all this other stuff. And then the direct lies about me and using that to kick off into all that other bullshit. Like, I just felt like it was necessary to do this. And maybe I was wrong, maybe not. I don't know. But like, that's where I am. And everybody make decisions about things all the time. And we try to talk about things when you shut people down though, and you've decided they are this thing and you're going to treat them this way and do these things. And that's, you know, we're used to that from theists. And so there's been those comparisons made and stuff. But when you shut down everybody else, anybody who has something different to say than you, then you've never cared about an honest conclusion anyway. Sometimes that harms a whole lot of people doing that, especially when you're very militant about it.
Kristen says that she's in 2026 already. Best name ever. She's in Sweden. Happy New Year's. Sorry you're spending it listening to this.
No. Hey, this was my New Year's Eve stream, guy. I did a big long 5-hour stream on New Year's Eve. See, not the one I wanted to have, but I do appreciate everyone coming and all the new people that came and stuff. Thanks for coming and talking and giving us perspective and adding your stuff. I really do appreciate everybody that's in the chat and stuff. Sorry I wasn't more interactive with the chat today. I was a bit emotional at several different times throughout this, and so
Now we were just talking shit about Jay. Don't. It's not important. I know he was freaking out, but like the times when he was freaking out, like I thought it was really funny. I was in there just like Jay Bundy lied about this. Jay Bundy lied about that. Jay Bundy is a goddamn grifter. He didn't respond to any of that.
No.
But when I was like, "Did you talk to Nancy or Patty?" I talked to Patty, you dumb bitch. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the thing that you're gonna check me on.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun in the chat. Jay Bundy can eat a bag of dicks. I want everybody in the community to know that if there's somebody that I don't believe is building community, I'm going to let you know. And if you believe that I'm not doing that, feel free to call me out. I'm not above it. Jay thinks that, I don't know, that I think I'm always right and da-da-da-da. I take an L every stream. Like, for instance, not my last stream, but the one before with Purple. I was misgendering a lady and Bre called me out and I was like, oh shit. All right. I was like, okay, everybody, we're going to stop that now. And I'm not even going to look into it. I'm just going to trust Bre and we're going to use different pronouns, and you don't have to be embarrassed. It's like, okay, I learned something.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
a lot of that.
But I mean, that's also what my stream is about. So when I'm telling people to be good skeptics and, to be open to receiving information, like what the fuck would it look like if I wasn't, there's no shame in that. So I want people to call me out if you feel like I'm not seeing things clearly. And usually I do it a lot through DMs. Other people, when they call me out, they do it over DMs. So a lot of it's not always public. So I can't, it would be unethical for me to show receipts from all the times that I was wrong. But I mean, and it's not always big stuff like that, like Joe with you, I know that like if something's big enough, you'll just go, you'll make a community post or da-da-da. And I generally won't do that. I'll just like kind of make a correction in the next stream. But again, I think I'm a little more graceful about it, where it doesn't look like I'm taking a no. And I kind of wish I could kind of show that off a little bit more, where it's just like, hey, see here, I was wrong. I accepted the information and we moved on. It doesn't have to be this big elaborate thing. I didn't double down. Nobody had to be like, no, I'm going to own you. Being wrong doesn't have to look like that.
Yeah.
And we're all wrong all the time. And, it's great because you learn something and that makes you a better person.
Damn right.
I want everybody to go out and try to be wrong, at least once a week. I want us to grow together as a community. I want to be part of a community that lifts each other up. And I don't know. I see us at least trying to do that. It's been really painful losing close friends for a lot of us. And I feel that pain too. I lost an insanely close mod. And it caused you should have seen my mod server. It caused a little bit of strife in there too. But we got through it together. And I think we're stronger because of it. And you guys are all here with us now. And I am so happy for each and every single one of you. So let's just go into 2026 knowing that we have each other's backs.
I can't do better than that. Later.